Yeah, because I've observed as well when people run into other people that have nice things, they start wishing like, man, why can I not have that? But the thing is, you can, right? Just because they did A, B, and C to get to where they're at, why can't you do A, B, and C to get to where they're at? Just like when we talked with some of the other guests that we aren't here, like how they're doing inspirational stuff by doing leadership seminars, doing this, doing that. But what does it mean that why we can't do that? You know what I'm saying? We could be able to do the same thing, but again, it takes the effort and commitment with that individual to want to pursue that. So I've always looked at it like it's great that you're going to go on social media and highlight a lot of the stuff. It's great that you're going to put on a lot of motivational and everything else. But if you're not going to follow through, don't be upset that the next person has the Ferrari, has the fucking mansion, has the fucking boat and everything else. In this world, unfortunately, money does make the world go round. You're going to need money for everything, especially that we're griping about eggs. I don't know how many memes I've seen. So many people posting on social media like, yo, the fucking cost of eggs is going through the roof. Back in the days, it was not much, but that's the way the economy is. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But what's the most commonality is you need money. Money is going to get you to what you're going to need to, if you want the fancy car, you're going to have to pay for it. You want the fancy house, you're going to have to pay for it. But how do you get that money? You got to put in the effort to do it. Like you said, you got to hustle and grind. Somebody right now, as we're speaking, is doing the hustling and grinding to get it to where they could see the light at the end of the tunnel to be like, I want to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger who said it. Somebody asked him a question about like, how do you become a millionaire? He goes, you need to start off with how to get $2 million. Not just one. How do I get $2 million? And then once you hit that million and you're getting to 2 million, okay, how do I go $4 million? Then you just keep having that outlook that I need to do more than just what the standard is. If the standard is everybody just wants to be a millionaire, but why can I not be a billionaire? Why can I not be a trillionaire? You know what I'm saying? The outlook needs to be more futuristic than just saying, let me just try to make it through this week and get that paycheck. You know, like you said, affirmations, man, throw it out there. If your goal is to say, hey, by the end of the year, I want to be in the fucking 7-figure stage, then do it. Why? What's saying that you can't? So I had a classmate. Thank God I'm almost done with school. I'm one class down. I started in February. I graduated in May, so I can't wait for that day. But I had a classmate. He was in the Air Force, and he wrote on his discussion about how time management was very hard for him because, you know, we PCS, we're constantly moving around and everything else. Well, as he was going through the class, he got tagged to PCS. So he wrote in discussion that for him, time management was hard because, you know, he had to worry about moving his family, moving his things, moving everything else. So I replied to him and I said, the only advice that I could give you is that you know yourself better than anybody else. So if you feel that the move and everything else is overwhelming and that this class was overwhelming because you had all that stuff going on and you didn't know how to properly time manage, then take a break. It's okay to just take a break and then refocus later on once you're settled in and everything else. But again, you only know you better. Nobody else can tell you any different. So as long as you see that within yourself, that you know that, hey, if I take a break, I'm okay with taking a break, then that's what you need. If you say to yourself, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire, then go be a millionaire. There shouldn't be nothing stopping you. Nothing should be stopping you from doing that at all. Besides yourself. You're your own barrier. You're your own wall. You're the only person that's driving the car, and you decide whether you're going to fucking drive it off the road or you're going to stay on the fucking road to be successful. It's that easy. I'm going to make my own fucking motivational videos and just throw them out there. Let people play my voice as the motivational speaker and hear what Izzy has to say. Quote the Don Izzy, nevermore.
Well, you know, like what's funny about a lot of these motivational speakers, man, and this is what, like, I'm somebody who's been listening to motivation since 2011. Like, I listen to a lot of it. And one thing that throws me off is when someone's like, hey, motivational, but only one part of their life. Like, man, this is a long fucking pursuit, man. This is a fucking grind, man. And what I mean by that is Oh, you want to be good? Motherfucker, you gotta be good at everything, and you gotta get better
Everything.
every day. I can always get better. I gotta get better at my fitness,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, like, okay, we can get better at my fitness, but then I can worry about that though. But it's like I gotta worry about being a good husband, a good father. I
Mm-hmm.
can always improve in those areas, man. Being a good student of learning, reading. Like, there's so much shit to do where I know it becomes it becomes overwhelming in a sense to people because there's so much to get better at. And sometimes it's like, look, man, if right now you're a person who doesn't get off the couch, then and you have like 50 things to get better, you just got to fix one of them. Like, and maybe you don't even got to fix one of them. Maybe you just got to put down a little bit more money on your credit card, and instead of owing 30,000, you owe 28,000. Sometimes, man, you just got to pick a small fucking goal and then go after that goal. And then when you get that goal, you'll go get a little bit more. You know, maybe instead of you pay 2,000 down, the next year you're going to pay 4,000. And a lot of times, man, I think people look up and they see all these people doing great and magical fucking things. And they think, man, I got to do something like that too. And it's like, no, that guy's 20 years in the game. That's why his goals are bigger. That's why he's doing amazing things putting out, because he's 20 years in the game. Look at year 1 and year 2 of him, and you will find out that he had to start somewhere small. And so do you, right? And so, you know, there's a thing where like they tell you don't compete with other people, and then there's some people where like you must compete with other people. You must, if you want to be a amazing real estate person, you know, like as far as like owning things, maybe you should look at Grant Cardone or, you know, Robert Kiyosaki, and you compare yourself to those. Then there's some people like that. My personal thing, man, is I look myself in the mirror and I make sure I'm proud of myself. And I have high fucking standards for myself, man. The standard I have for myself is we exceed the standard. That is how I fucking live my life, of like, we exceed the standard. And so that means we have to work out 5 days a week. We have to work 6 days a week, actually. But 2 days ago, Tuesday, I didn't go to the gym because I was sick. Sometimes that shit happens, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to always live this rigid lifestyle. It's just like, can you make sure that you're pushing it the best you can today?
Right.
And I couldn't work out for 2 days because I woke up and I was like, man, I'm not really feeling good. Like, oh shit, I feel not good. It was so bad. I didn't wake up until like 8:15.
Damn.
If anyone know, yeah, right. I wake up early. That's how you know I was fucking sick.
Yeah, that's late.
Like, that's how you know I'm fucking sick, man. Like, I told someone else, right? I was like, yeah, I just woke up right now. They're like, damn, you sick? I'm like, I'm sick right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Because I wake up at 4:29. I'm very religious about that.
Disgusting.
But what I'm saying though is, it's okay to like not wake up at 4. I didn't beat myself. I didn't like, you're a horrible person.
Right.
Like, you're sick. You're feeling sick. Get better. Get some rest. And I was like, okay, we'll do it again. Tuesday came and I was like, nope, we're not doing it again. I woke up at 4:30. Try to get ready and was like, go back to bed, man. Yeah. Woke up at 8 again. And then Wednesday I woke up and I went back in the gym and I didn't go hardcore. I was just like, I'm just here. Let me just get my mentality back. And that's what a lot of these things are, man. Like, everyone expects you to be like you. Everyone thinks that everyone who's motivational is always wanting this. They're tip top. No, the only difference between a lot of people is when they don't feel good, they're still doing it. When they don't feel amazing, when they don't have self-belief in themselves, whenever they doubt themselves, they're still doing the action. Right? That is what's going to separate people from everyone else, is you do it when you don't feel like doing it, because there's a lot more times you don't feel like doing it. And that's where the growth comes. That's where the heart shape comes from. It's where the character comes from. And that's where you're going to make that money, is because that's where everything comes from. You know, if you wait till you feel amazing, you're going to find out that you're never going to really do it.
And I'm glad that we're saying this. And I know you and I have, every time we start talking motivational and everything else, the viewers are like, what the fuck? But the one thing is, I want the people to listen and watch and understand that this is coming from two veterans. So I understand a lot of times, like, a lot of people that I'm affiliated with go in there and post about life is hard and everything else, but they use the veteran label. I get it. Thank you for your service. I know you did your time. I know that you've been in some deployments that were out of control. You've been to some hazardous places and everything else, but you cannot let that label dictate your life. If you and I could get up every day and push ourselves to go back to school, to do your job, to do more than your job, run your own business. You know, you want to write in the future a book. If I want to go for my doctorates, if I want to just go to, you know, work for emergency management overseas, we are two veterans doing it. We're not letting that label dictate us. We as individuals, when we talk about motivation, we mean in general, people in all. It doesn't matter that, oh, that only applies to the civilians. No, it's also the veterans. And it's sad when I constantly repost from veterans that life is hard. You know, why is this happening to me? How come I can't, get a job, or how come I can't do this, or how come I can't do that? Stop letting just that label dictate why you can't do things, because you were a veteran. It was, again, thank you for your service, but it's still up to you as an individual to make things come around, put in the effort, put in the grind, put in the hustle. Because sometimes I'm just like, dude, I get it. I know times were tough, but I'm a veteran like you. Like, and it might take a while to adjust when you switch over from military to civilian, but at the same token, you still need to do it. You need to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to still put your fucking head down and bull charge whatever obstacles that are thrown your way, whatever is bad is happening to you. You still got to do it. That's why I'm glad that when we did this, that we do these veteran spotlights to show people that, yes, veterans can do more than just the military. There is more outside of it that veterans are achieving, that our veterans are conquering, that our veterans are fucking breaking these walls down to show other veterans that, hey, it's not just fucking you. It's not just the military world. Like, you can do more outside of the military world. And that's the thing that always gets me, is like, I get it, bro. You're a veteran. You've been through some hard stuff, much harder than whatever I've seen in the Air Force and everything else. But at the same token, you cannot let that sort of hold you back. You can't just be like, oh, it's because, in the military, I was able to do this. Yeah, I get it, but you're not there no more. That's in your past. You know what I'm saying? That's behind you. So what are you doing now to do A, B, and C to get better? What are you doing now to be able to make money and put food on the table, put a roof over your head and everything? We complain about the VA and everything else. The resources aren't out there, but if they're not there, look somewhere else. What's stopping you from looking through other avenues versus just the VA? Nothing. You can do that. You can, like you said, you go see a VA dentist. I have to see a civilian dentist because of ratings or whatever the case may be. But when I go see civilian dentists, I'm doing my research. I'm making sure, what's the reviews. This office is good, because back in the military, I went to captain or major. Hey, you got your appointment, get it done. Boom. See you later. But that's not my life no more. I'm not in that structure no more. So now I got to start figuring shit out. I got to start figuring out who's going to cover me here, who's going to cover me medical wise. How am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to keep the roof over my head? How am I going to put food on the table? The military life is done. And eventually you and I knew that door was going to close sooner or later. Either if you did 10 years or 20 years, the door is closing. You can't be military forever. So it's like, I say that because I want the viewers and listeners to understand that, hey, this applies to everybody. We're not just talking a specific category of people. We're talking about everybody: civilian, dependents, military, active, reserve, guard, doesn't matter, veteran, retiree. This is for everybody that's out there living their lives. It applies to everybody. It really does.
Yeah, I got talked to one time, and somebody was like, "Oh, the reason why you're like that is because you're a veteran and you're military and you were programmed this way, so you're lucky to be this way." And I was like, "The fuck, like the fuck I am, man! Like, you fucking serious? No, I'm not. Like, yeah, we're programmed to a certain extent, man, but we're not programmed after the military to be this way, right? Like, it's a choice." And I'm not no fucking special person. I didn't go through no special fucking training. The only training I went through for my job was 6 weeks long. You know what I mean? I'm no fucking special person. Like, I went to basic training and I went to training for my job. And that's the extent of my training that I really have gotten those things. And a lot of these things is, honestly, I was never this way, like, hardcore. Like, I was in the military. I was always like going a go-getter, but I wasn't like this in the military in a sense. A lot of this shit comes from being fucking $36,000 in debt after you got out of the military, and knowing that within a couple years, or with being within 6 months of being out of the military, you're fuck up again. Mm-hmm. And the shit I had to do to crawl out of debts, to crawl out of all that chaos, has made me the person I am today. And Absolutely. I know that I'm willing to wake up and work harder than everybody else. And that's just the fucking bottom line. And if people get mad about it, I'm like, let's go. There's some people who want to like, hey, I bet I can do this to you. I'm like, cool, man. You know, I had somebody like challenge me to something. And I was like, okay. And they're like, oh, this. And I was like, You're not going to beat me. Like, oh, you know, this. And I was like, oh, you don't know me, man. I'm crazy. I'm willing to do things you're not willing to do. And it's not because I think it, though. That's the fucking thing.
Right.
I'm like, here's what I've done. I've done this. I've done that. I've done this and I've done that. And they're like, holy shit. I'm like, I am nuts if I put my mind to it. But I have experiences that have told me that they back up what I say. I'm not just a person who's like, oh, I'm this and that. Like, and that's why a lot of times I've actually taken down a lot of my shit from social media. I don't post a lot of things no more. I'm like, I'm good, man. I don't need that though. I don't care for that. I don't even care if you know I do that or not. I don't care.
Right.
Because it's me. You're not in the garage with me in the mornings. You're not in the garage with me when I'm sitting down on my phone bullshitting because I don't want to run because it sucks. It hurts, right? I told you I was sick for 2 days. When I went to go run again, that was very painful because my knees, if I don't run on them daily, I forget what it feels like and they start feeling less pain. And then it's way painful when you run again. Yeah. And we're talking about a slow jog. It's painful. And so that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you're not there when I don't, like, you're not there when it's like, 60 degrees in the gym. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. You're not going to help me get to where I want to go. You're not going to help me get motivated, but you're definitely not there either to see the fails. And I think that's the problem is people just want to look at you in those things. And on another note, that's completely changing the subject, because I think we got way too fucking serious. I want to tell you why I actually untagged the VA in our post we had making fun of them. So I was reading some on Facebook and they're like, they're like about disabilities and like, can the, if you're permanent total, can the VA take away your disability? And everyone was like, no, it takes 20 years. They're going back and forth. Like, well, they got to prove it. They got to do this. And someone goes like, well, this. He goes, unless you piss somebody off. I read that part, was like, went to Instagram really quick, fucking went to our thing, was like, fuck that. That would probably piss somebody off. I don't know who would piss off. It would probably piss somebody off. I'm good. Point taken. They didn't see it, or I don't even know they did see it. I was like, we're not going to chance that shit. So I was like, off. I would talk a lot of shit, but it's like, hey, this can get you in trouble, or not even get you in trouble. They can get you more than that. I'm like, I'm good. There's no need.
It could mess up some things. It could mess up some ratings.
I was like, that old school military fear came in me, was like, let's just take this off just in case. Just in case they're paying attention. They're like, who the fuck is it? Oh, you want to talk shit now? Let's do an investigation on you. I'm good. So that was funny.